Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're doing well on this hazy. Somebody said it's the smoke from Canada. It was a little really smoky out earlier today. It seems to be going away a little bit, but the 10-year 3840. So you'll see from the chart straight up today. GDP came out, said that it increased a little bit, and I read some of that, and then also this morning I was listening to one of the stations, the economic stuff, and they were talking about what's really propping up, and I kind of half listening, but they were what's propping up the economy, and what creates positive GDP is that people are spending money. So people have jobs, which is good, bad, because people have jobs, they're making money, which is good, bad. And the good part is people have jobs. The good part is people are making money. The bad part is people are spending money, and that inflation continues to be a persistent thing. And then GDP, when they see it go up, they say, hey, the economy is not slowing down. And the 10-year Treasury reacts accordingly, which was 3840. So that's that. Last thing I was working on today were equity lines, and I've been talking to a lot of clients about equity lines. I have actually 3 people I'm talking to right now about equity lines. And in the past, as a correspondent lender, mortgage bank, equity lines really weren't our cup of tea, right? At least in my opinion. You might talk to somebody else. I was like, hey, look, if you have great credit and here's a couple of referrals that you can go outside and get an equity line. Talk to somebody else in the business the other day about, we did a lot of what we call piggybacks, and we actually just closed a piggyback deal today, which is a jumbo. We went down to conventional through a second mortgage, a piggyback second, and it's the first piggyback I've done since 2008, right? Looking at that, talking to people now about home equity lines. So if you're curious about them, generally better credit scores, right? Now, what we do well as a correspondent lender is we actually go down to a lower credit scores, right? Where the banks, credit unions, they're going to want you more than likely 720, 720 plus, right? And the higher your credit score, the better it is. They're going to go off of prime and minus, plus or minus, right? So prime 8.25, hey, it's going to be prime plus 1, 9.25, prime minus a half, 8.75, right? Or 7.75 rather. So that's the way they work. And it's a simple interest payment, meaning it's just, hey, I'm taking out $50,000 times 8.25%, if you're just that prime plus or minus 0, times this equals divided by 12, and there's your monthly payment. So they're not fully amortized, so the payments are a little bit less. And again, for us, what we have a better platform now is lower credit scores. Obviously, we do the higher credit scores, but lower credit scores, we can accommodate that. And the one that I was just looking up now was for an investment property. So, and if we have 5 options, one of those options said, hey, you know what? We're good with an equity line on an investment property. So that's not something you're probably going to walk into the bank or the credit union and say, hey, I want to take out $50,000 on an investment property. They probably would say, I'm just guessing now, I haven't been in and asked the question, but it may not be, hey, that's great news. You have the opportunity to do that. And these, what we refer to as standalone seconds, you look at it and you just take, like I do. Hey, I Google the property, and Zestimate comes up, and whether you believe Zestimate or not, I'll leave that up to another discussion. But the standalones, again, depending on credit score, 90% of the what we call loan to value. So hey, it's my house is worth $400,000. I can go to 90%, so I can go up $360,000. Hey, I owe $260. Hey, there's $100,000 sitting there, right? And then it's $100,000 times 8.25% equals X divided by 12 equals your monthly mortgage payment or your monthly equity line payment. So that's it. If you have any questions about equity lines, you want to explore the option there, 404-915-6834 or glickmortgage.com. Have a fantastic afternoon. Take care.